Many artists lived in the Greenwich Village area of New York. Two young women named Sue and Johnsy shared a studio apartment at the top of a three-storied building. In November, due to this disease, pneumonia, many people died. Johnsy also lay on her bed and the doctor examined her, and he spoke to Sue in another room. She has one chance in, let us say 10, and that chance is for her to want to live. Your friend has made up her mind that she is not going to get well. Has she anything on her mind? She wanted to paint the Bay of Naples in Italy someday, said Sue.
Well, I'll do that science can do, but whenever my patient begins to count the carriages at her funeral, I take away 50% from the curative power of medicines,
the doctor said. After the doctor had gone, Sue went into the workroom and cried. Then she went to Johnsy's room with her drawing board. Sue heard a low sound, several times repeated. 9, 8, 7. What is it, dear? Asked Sue. 6, said Johnsy quietly. They are falling faster now. 3 days ago, there were almost 100. And now only 5. 5 what, dear? Asked Sue. Leaves on the plant. When the last one falls, I must go too. I have known that for 3 days. Didn't the doctor tell you?
Oh, I never heard of such a thing, said Sue.
What have old ivy leaves to do with your getting well? And you used to love that vine.
Don't be silly. Why, the doctor told me this morning that your chances for getting well real soon were...
Let's see exactly what he said. He said the chances were 10 to 1. Try to eat some soup now. And let me go back to my drawing so I can sell it to the magazine and buy food for us. You needn't get any more food. Look, the leaves, they are just 4. I want to see the last one fall before it gets dark. Then I'll go too. Johnsy dear, said Sue, will you promise me to keep your eyes closed and not look out the window until I'm done working? I must hand those drawings in by tomorrow. Try to sleep. I must call Mr. Behrman up to be my model for my drawing of an old miner. Don't try to move until I come back. Old Behrman was a painter who lived on the ground floor of the apartment building. He earned a little money by serving as a model to artists who could not pay for a professional model. He was a fierce little old man. And Sue told him about Johnsy and how she feared that her friend would float away like a leaf. Old Behrman was angered at such an idea.
Are there people in the world with the foolishness to die because leaves drop off a vine? This is not any place in which one so good as Miss Johnsy shall lie sick,
yelled Behrman. She and Behrman went into the other room. They looked out of the window fearfully at the ivy vine. The next morning, Sue awoke after an hour's sleep. She found Johnsy with wide open eyes staring at the covered window. Pull up the shade. I want to see, she ordered quietly. Sue obeyed. After the beating rain and fierce wind that blew through the night, there yet stood against the wall one ivy leaf. It was the last one on the vine. It was still dark green at the center, but its edges were colored with the yellow. It is the last one, said Johnsy. I thought it would surely fall during the night. I heard the wind. It will fall today, and I shall die at the same time.
Dear, dear,
said Sue.
Think of me if you don't think of yourself.
What would I do without you? But Johnsy did not answer. The next morning when it was light, Johnsy demanded that the window shade be raised. The ivy leaf was still there. And then she said to Sue, I've been a bad girl. Something has made that last leaf stay there to show me how bad I was. It is wrong to want to die. Please give me some soup. An hour later she said, someday I hope to paint the Bay of Naples. Later in the day, the doctor came and Sue talked to him in the hallway.
Well, I must see another case I have in your building. And Jonesy, she's quite well now. You know, this Bearman, his name is some kind of an artist, I believe. Pneumonia too. He's an old weak man and his case is severe. There is no hope for him. But he goes to the hospital today to ease his pain.
The next day, the doctor said to Sue,
"She is out of danger. You won. Nutrition and care now, that's all."
Later that day, Sue came to the bed where Jonesy lay and put one arm around her. "I have something to tell you. Mr. Bearman died of pneumonia today in the hospital. He was sick only 2 days," Sue said. "They found him the morning of the first day in his room downstairs, helpless with pain. His shoes and clothing were completely wet and icy cold. They could not imagine where he had been on such a terrible night. And then they found the lantern still lighted. And then they found a ladder that had been moved from its place, and art supplies, and a painting board with green and yellow colors mixed on it. And look out the window, dear, at the last ivy leaf on the wall. Didn't you wonder why it never moved when the wind blew? Oh, darling, darling, it's Bearman's masterpiece. He painted it
on the night
that the last leaf fell.